Lights, camera, wrestling. Hello there. Welcome to BunkaMania Goes to the Movies. I am the Dekker Dane, and it's one of our special episodes where we look at a movie starring a wrestler. The wrestler in question this week is Triple H in the family comedy drama. We're not really sure what it's still trying to be. The Chaperone. And joining me to talk about The Chaperone first up is Harriett. Hello, Harriett. How are you doing?
Not too bad. It's been a year in the making. I think a year in the making, maybe more. We got there in the end.
I do have to just double check. We have watched this film twice now, haven't we? You've watched it once. Oh no, I've made the mistake. I had watched it a year ago. Completely forgot about it. And then, oh yeah, we've got to do this episode now. And then I had to rewatch it. And no, nothing changed. Nothing changed entirely.
I'm sorry.
I mean, why are you apologizing? It was my own fault for watching it again. And that's probably a bit of a damning indictment on the film we're going to talk about, to be honest. Anyway, and we are also joined, I must stress, through his own choice and his own choice alone, it's Matty Boo. Matty, how are we doing?
Through my own volition, Dane?
Yes. Oh, wait.
Don't anybody say that I make a decision in this. I'm a victim. I am a victim of circumstance. You all know what you did. I said multiple times through all my social media, through my Twitch stream, I wasn't doing this. And yet, I'm here because somebody, his name is the Dekker Dane, kept saying everywhere that I am taking part in this. I didn't agree to this. And then I'm getting messages like this on my phone.
Come join us, Matty. Matty, come and join us and review The Chaperone.
I'm a victim of circumstance. I am not here to review the film. I am here to stage a protest, and I am sticking to that.
Question. How are you staging a protest by watching the film and joining us for a review? Simply the pure protest.
Silence! I have watched the film. That is enough. Shall we continue?
Any words from Harriet on the accusations?
I might have been drunk on power after watching halfway through the Chaperone. I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like it was funny at the time. No, I tell you why it was. It's because Matty was talking about it on his stream. And He was saying, no, I'm not watching it. You can't make me watch it. And then I felt like, no, I'm going to record this message. And that's why I did it. I was probably, I don't know. I was very tired, to be fair. But also, I stand by it. You know, he's here. So.
And yet this is still Dane's fault.
Why is it my fault? I didn't send the WhatsApp message going, join us, Matty. Join us or die. I didn't send that.
I didn't send die.
I was adding it for dramatic effect, Harriet.
Now I know who's been sending me the messages to tell me that in 7 days I'll die.
7 days. 7 days. 7 days. I need to drink water. My voice gets destroyed.
Well, it was nice to only be on BunkaMania Goes to the Movies twice. Rip me, I guess. And yeah. Shall we continue?
I mean, I'm getting fired after this, so it's fine. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wait. Now, before we are going to talk about the Chaperone, and before we start talking about the Chaperone, just to give you guys a little heads up, we are going to talk about spoilers straight out the gate. So if you don't want to be spoiled, pause the video right here, go over and watch the film. If you're in the UK, it's on Pluto TV. You can watch it for free. There's some ads there as well. And then you can come back and join us then. But if you already watched the film and you don't really care about spoilers either, then buckle up, find yourself a field trip buddy, and let's get going. So, The Chaperone. It came out in 2011, and like most WWE movies, it was a home release. And it's Triple H himself in this one. So where was he up? What was he up to in WWE at that time? Well, he had a very busy 2011. He had his first big big stage Undertaker match at WrestleMania 27, the year before the end of the era match. And then we had the whole Summer of Punk bollocks going on. He was the special ref for Punk and Cena at SummerSlam, and then Kevin Nash got involved, and then there was this whole convoluted story of who sent Kevin Nash a text to him to go and interfere with CM Punk's title reign, all that sort of stuff. And then pretty much for the remainder of the year, it was him and Punk. They had a match at Night of Champions, which he won. He then somehow teamed up with Punk to take on R-Truth and The Miz. And then Triple H took on Kevin Nash in a sledgehammer ladder match. I think it was one of those, it's like one of those, baton on a pole match or kendo stick on a pole match. Basically, it's like climb the ladder, grab the sledgehammer, then climb back down, bash someone with it, and then pin them. I think that's how it kind of worked. Otherwise, it was like grab the sledgehammer to win. Why not? That would be a fun challenge, I suppose. Yes, but yeah, that was what Triple H was up to in 2011. Any thoughts on some of those bits and bobs in his wrestling activities that year?
God, I'm trying to even remember what happened last year and stuff. Here are some of that. It's just like, oh boy, I completely forgot about that and the whole CM Punk summer.
The CM Punk back, I took a break from wrestling in about 2010, 2011, and it was all the CM Punk drama which brought me back ever so briefly, because that was incredibly interesting. They brought in, obviously, like this could have been CM Punk as Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Triple H as the gentleman we will not be talking about in this podcast. And it had all the hallmarks, and it just crashed and burned within a summer. It was a literal just summer of Punk. And by God, did Triple H wanted it to be a summer of Triple H. There was a definite character clash going on there. And my interest just dipped almost entirely off the back of that summer of Punk, unfortunately. But when it started, oh my God, was it hot. If you were to tell me anything that happened with the Kevin Nash and the Triple H stuff during all of that, I honestly couldn't remember. I couldn't remember apart from some phone call that was left on an answer machine. That's it.
I think they revealed that Kevin Nash broke into Triple H's office to send himself a text message from Triple H's phone to say, hey, go and stop that CM Punk fella. He's annoying me. So basically, Kevin Nash was the perpetrator in it all. It made no sense. Even though I didn't watch it happen, and rereading it back, it still makes no sense. It's just like...
I remember that now. I've suddenly just remembered, like, unlocked a core memory. I was like, oh my God. And at that time, I was flabbergasted. As a child. How old was I then? That was year 11. I was 15. So I'm showing my age here. At 14, 15, and I'm just like...
Someone in the writers' room at WWE just wrote that and went, you know what, guys? You know what? I've just blown people's minds with this story. It's gonna be great. Who would have thunk that Kevin Nash sent the message to him himself? Him, Kevin Nash. You're fired.
How cerebral. How cerebral indeed.
Yes.
Do you know what this feels like? This almost feels like the plot line of the Chaperone.
But hold up right there. We'll get to the Chaperone and the plotline very, very shortly. Let's talk about Triple H in TV and movies before we dive straight into this. Now, before this, his only big film appearance was Blade Trinity. And we all remember Blade Trinity pretty well, pretty badly. And he was like the big vampire henchman who just had a dog. And the dog was also a vampire. And it was weird. And I didn't like it. It was scary. All that sort of stuff. After that, his only other leading film credit would be Inside Out, released that same year. Now, in the TV side of things, he did appear in certain TV shows. There was Pacific Blue. That's where Triple H played an exaggerated version of himself on the police drama. And then there was, I believe, do correct me if I'm wrong, Hall of Famer Drew Carey. He also appeared in the Drew Carey Show as a wrestler known as the Disciplinarian. A fictional wrestler who got enlisted by Drew Carey's advertising firm, which also include Whose Lines It Anyways, Ryan Stiles, future Batman Dietrich Bader, to try and promote beer. Pretty much after these two films in 2011, the only roles he sort of did were voice roles. So he appeared in both the Scooby-Doo WWE movies. So he got WrestleMania Mystery and Speed Demon. Speed Demon, by the way, is awesome. Check it out. And also Surf's Up 2, Wave of Mania, because, people remember Surf's Up. and then yeah, it's just kind of petered out after that. So I'd like to get your thoughts on this. So did it feel like Tripp's new acting probably wasn't the best way forward for him? Because Rock, Austin, Batista, Cena, they'd all sort of started up their own sort of movie past then. And it's like Trips just didn't seem the one to kind of comfortably transition out of the big guns that started doing movies. He just didn't seem to transition that well. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
Okay, was it during the time. Possibly, maybe he realized acting wasn't a thing for him. I completely forgot he was in Speed Demon. My God, I'd love the Scooby Doo movies. So the rest of them also one of my favorites. Was it during the time he started becoming more of an authority figure in WWE that maybe he thought that it kind of I can't do both, so I'm just going to
Yeah.
stick with one instead of the other? But you're right in regards to. I'm going to say this kindly. There are better wrestling actors out there. So I don't think Triple H is one of them. Ironically, I was talking about this with my friends today because I was saying I was going to talk about this movie. And the first people they thought was Batista, John Cena, straight away. Not Triple H, ironically enough. But yeah, I'm guessing it's probably around that time. I could be wrong. Please let me know if I am, because usually I am with these sort of things. But maybe he just decided, nah, I don't want to do this. That's what I think, anyway.
I think around the time of Blade Trinity, I think he was looking to like elevate his name. I think by the time the Chaperone came around, I believe they tied up a lot of the wrestlers with 2 movie commitments, and I think this is very much a case of rather than Triple H wanting to be in these movies, it was a case of he was convinced to make these movies. I can't speak for the guy, obviously, but the overall feeling I've got watching this film was this is very much a guy who tried, but ultimately knew he had far better like talent around him. We'll talk about this when we do the actual review.
Yeah.
And he did his 2 films, and then he did no more than that. So I reckon this was just an initial push to try and get some of the topper talent that weren't already out there in Hollywood. Hello, Rock. Out there and making movies for them. Because this was at the early days, more or less, of the WWE Films franchise. Obviously, we had See No Evil with Kane as well. And they just wanted to get as many of the top guys that had some chops on them on there on the screen as much as possible. It was a worthy experiment. Ultimately, it didn't really pan out. I ultimately think Triple H knew this wasn't going to be for him. And ergo, any other time you've ever seen him act in anything, it's always been as himself. Which, to be fair, I think is the most comfortable he could be.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, when you look at the WWE Films kind of, or WWE Studios kind of list of films or the wrestlers they brought in, it's like Randy Orton's really only done 2. He did Condemned 2. He also did 12 Rounds 2. He's the sequel king, apparently. And then he went off and did like a couple of like smaller bits. I mean, he had like a guest starring role in Shooter, the TV series version of the Mark Wahlberg sniper thing as well. So no, yeah, I think it does come across. I think Trips did those 2 films probably since his future lied pretty much in the wrestling business, so I think kind of stuck there. But obviously, yeah, still pops up now and then as himself in a few things. He even popped up, I think the most recent show he appeared in was Billions in 2024, I think this year, as himself, the Damian Lewis financial drama. Right, so let's have a quick look about the Chaperone before we dive into the actual synopsis and our thoughts. So in the Chaperone, we do have some notable talent in there. I always like to kind of skim through like the cast lists and pull out the highlights, or the people that you didn't realize were in this. First and foremost, we have Ariel Winter, who plays Triple H's daughter in this. She would go on to star as Alex in the popular comedy Modern Family. As part of the ensemble cast, she would win the Screen Actors Guild Award for Comedy Ensemble between 2010 and 2013. So I think she was already in Modern Family at the time the Chaperone would actually release. So maybe they were kind of banking on a little bit of star power there. Not sure. It seems very early to tell on that one. Other notable roles from Ariel Winter, there was Carrie Kelly, aka Robin, in the Dark Knight Returns animated films, Sophia in Disney's Sophia the First, and I also believe she appears in the Quarry video game as well. Also, and we will throw a link to this in the description on YouTube, Ariel Winter was also a guest star on Raw to help promote this film, and she helped run the Great Khali Kiss Cam. Whelp. Let's clarify. She took part in none of that. Basically, it was like, here's the Great Khali, and Great Khali comes down and does the whole kiss cam thing. It's weird. It really is weird. And I can tell by Maddie's face that yes, that's exactly the face you should be pulling. And he's reclining, and he's going down. The SS Matty Boo has gone down. The system has broken down. He's thrown up the X sign, everyone. Anyway. So, yes, we have Ariel Winter. We also have Yardley Smith, who plays the main teacher of this field trip that we'll talk about in a little bit. You might not know the face, but you're absolutely going to know the voice, because Yardley Smith is the voice of Lisa Simpson in The Simpsons. It's a rare movie appearance. She does a couple of movie appearances here and there. She does do guest spots on TV shows as well, but she's mostly been known as Lisa. She's pretty much been focused on being Lisa for like the last couple of decades. So it's very rare to see a Simpsons actor who isn't like Hank Azaria, probably just out front and center. I think Dan Castellaneta did a couple of like live action appearances. He was like one of the fans in Space Jam who was a bit vocal about people losing their talent, all that sort of stuff. Yes, we have Yardley Smith. We also have, just for film aficionados, we also got Kevin Corrigan as our main baddie in this, Philip. He's one of these faces you usually see in a lot of crime films. So he's been in The Departed, American Gangster, Pineapple Express, Seven Psychopaths. So there you go. We've got a couple of familiar faces in this film. So why don't we talk about The Chaperone itself? Harriett or Matty, which one of you feels brave enough to tell me what the film was about?
Go on, Harry.
Okay. Right. Okay. So it's basically about Triple H, who stars as a character called Ray, or Ray. He has just been released from prison after doing 7 years for being a driver in a getaway runaway. So he tries, in his 7 years, he is now wised up. He has now taken some wisdom through books and through radio stations, and he tries to make amends with his daughter and his ex-wife. As you can tell, that goes as swimmingly as a chocolate teapot. So then he somehow finds a way where he tries to interrupt his trying to socialize with his daughter and kind of build a relationship up. Ends up being an extra chaperone on her school trip, which she looks forward to. No, she doesn't. And it just carries on from there, where things go array. There's more robberies, there's more chaos, and there's more shenanigans where we try to delve into trying to solve this, as well as chaos. That's pretty much how I could describe it. But also, there is a bus full of school kids as well, so everything's going to go right.
And those school kids all have their own characters.
This is it, yeah.
Those school kids were the best part of this movie.
Yes.
They had personalities. They were played by very competent actors that were considerably younger than one Paul Levesque. I dig them near the end. I liked those kids in the end. That was legitimately the only thing I enjoyed about this film, other than the fact the end credits started to roll.
I mean, this is the thing I have. This is the thing I have with The Chaperone. I think if you had a more charismatic lead, or more probably confident lead in this film, this is like your standard C-tier Disney Channel film. It really is. It's like, it's something you throw on a Disney Channel and everyone's happy. That's all hunky-dories. But yeah, I think the big negative for me, I think, on this one is that Trips, he can do great promos in rings, wrestling, but here it doesn't translate well into acting. It doesn't, because there's sometimes different tonal shifts of what he should be saying. There's one where I think he just throws like Kevin Corrigan against the wall and is trying to be really aggressive, but he just sounds like, hey, don't be mean. I'm going to hurt you if you get in my business again. Yeah.
That scene would have been a whole lot more better and intimidating if it wasn't for the fact my focal point in that scene was the big fist imprint that he made in the wall next to the guy's face, and you could see every line of his hand there. It looked cartoony as heck.
Yeah.
It looked more like he punched treacle than drywall.
Play-Doh.
Yeah. To that, because I mentioned the kids and how much they're brilliant actors. This film, the casting director needs a massive shout out here, because obviously Triple H was the main star hire for this. This was a film that was very much built around him. And so the casting director picked a cast they knew would be incredibly competent, and they acted their socks around Triple H. This was the ECW Paul Heyman booking style of casting, because it tried to hide all the negatives by having a stellar cast around Triple H. Triple H, I will say though, at the very start of the film, was probably the most charismatic he was for the entire film, because when he was there in prison with his little beard, at being like pseudo Jason Momoa, I kind of digged him then. And then the plot happened. And it's like he couldn't fit in with the plot at all.
So are you saying when he shaved his beard off, that was it? The acting talent disappeared down the sink with the beard?
When he essentially then became Evolution Triple H in face, that's when it went wrong.
Was that a fake beard?
That was a fake beard. It looked, it was so fake.
I mean, I just saw that. I was like, I mean, as you can tell, I've never grown a beard, but it's just more like that did not look fake. That did look fake. Sorry. It was just like,
Harriett, you're not trying hard enough.
Sorry.
Just sorry. Go, grr. I'm the team. Build a beard.
My beard game is not strong, unfortunately.
No. So, just to go around on the review, other than Triple H, because a lot of this, believe it or not, I don't think a lot of this film is his fault. My main gripe with this film, this is a film that isn't competently written at all, nor directed. It feels like a TV movie of the week. It sounds like a TV movie of the week. The writing is not good. It doesn't know what it wants to be. It doesn't know whether it needs to be a madcap movie. It doesn't know whether it needs to be a comedy drama. It's trying its ultimate best to be the next Kindergarten Cop. And you'd think that this is where it leads, and it really doesn't. And what we get instead is Bipolar Disorder, the comedy, but written by somebody who's never written comedy. And it just left me going, there's characters here that don't fit with the vibe of the movie they're trying to tell at this point in the movie. You know? And it was frustrating me from start to utter finish. And also my main gripe is when people needed to be intimidating, it needed a baddie with actual teeth. And when our incompetent buffoons went and visited the more badass gang, we thought we were going to get a more competent baddie in this, and we simply didn't. And what we had was more bumbling around. And also the main point of the plot that really got on my goat is by the time that Ray found out that their bus had the loot money in the bus, if he was truly a redeemed character, he could have just left the money at the side, tip off the police. He could have done any of that. But then he was just being unimaginably dumb from there on in for no reason. It could have protected him. He could have protected the bus. He could have protected the children. But he still kind of put himself and everyone in danger when all he could have done was just leave the money and go. I know that's not really how you resolve a movie, but it just made him look incredibly stupid when he's supposed to be like the smartest man in the room.
Yeah, the thing really with Triple H's character on this is like the moment he sort of starts getting involved at the school, I mean, he just suddenly breaks up a fight at a school and the teacher's like, oh, well done. Thank you for stopping this fight at the school. It's like, This is just a random adult who's just scampered in to stop two children fighting, and you're going, "Oh, shucks, thank you. We don't know you as a parent around here, but you seem like a good guy. You're quoting the War and Peace. Why not? Or the Art of War. Why not? Why not, indeed?"
I'm going to say this. Yardley Smith was absolutely wasted on this film. She had like charisma for days, and then she was just left to the curb near the end of the film. Like, what happened to her character after that? She must have been fired, surely. That was it.
Or did she?
That was the end of her character.
Or did she marry the guy who had a crush on her, the other chaperone who had a crush on her, which was just unexplained?
Hope not. I really hope not, considering he basically just threw her literally under the bus near the end of that film.
Oh, yeah! That was so funny. I was like, my God, man, you turned so quick in regards to, no, you're going to be fine. Nah, you're screwed. You're fired. I laughed at that, I will say.
Yeah, the whole sort of thing is like, oh, we better not tell anyone. We better not tell anyone that Triple H used to was in jail. It's like, I'm sorry, someone should be able to look up a police record from the school to go, hey a minute, wait a minute, this Ray chap, he's just come out of jail. Why is he near the kids?
I'm guessing welcome to the American educational system.
and yet in the movie, one of the criminals called up the school asking for information and said, what's the name? Gives the surname, because obviously he knows Ray's surname. Oh yes, it's your daughter. Yeah, she's on this bus going this way. I'm like,
yeah, so yeah, there's the thing of the school clearly not having the right security protocols in to look after their kids by just letting a known convicted felon just pop on the bus to help out. No sort of challenging of it. It's like, oh, he's a very big man with a ponytail. Better let him on. All right, fair enough. All that sort of stuff. Yeah, when you were saying about the villains not being that kind of threatening, Kevin Corrigan is not threatening. He's as menacing as a leak pretty much doused in like cider. I don't know. I'm trying to put words together. It's a floppy leak just going, I'm gonna hurt you, Ray, because you took my money. All right. Yeah.
Did anybody else watch this movie midway through think that ultimately Ray was going to become a school teacher at the end of it, and then was just absolutely just jarred sideways by what he eventually did become?
What, a radio host? I think it was kind of. It seemed very natural, considering he had been embraced by this sort of radio kind of what's the word? Guru. Oh, was it? There's a better. Agony aunt. Agony aunt. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised she actually let him talk. I'm not being funny. It's just one of those things. It was more like convicted criminal. It's just like some people kind of frown upon that, but also. Yeah, the whole radio sequence at the end was very weird. It was just like she was just saying like, so this is what's happening, sort of thing. It was like a radio telenovela or something like that. It was just like, so this is happening.
Also, is this show 24/7? Because I swear there are moments throughout the film where he's just calling up the radio station and the agony aunt is still on the air. It's just like, so it's like, I don't know if my daughter's going to love me anymore. That's okay. It's only 8 a.m. Things will be better. Oh, it's 2:30. I've just left the museum. The criminals are after me, but I don't know if they should actually love me.
A lot of our social circles are currently watching. Oh, not watching, listening to a Canadian radio station because Dominic Diamond is the morning host on it. And what we found out is there's only 2 DJs there at any given time. Dominic Diamond in the morning, and then somebody else from Canada in the drive-by show. The rest of the time, it's just commercials, news roundups, and music.
Okay.
So maybe this lady is the only radio host for this particular radio station, and she only does mornings, night times.
Thank God Ray's there now.
Maybe she's there the whole day. Maybe she has a whole day of broadcasting, and then someone else comes in. That's what Triple H is, the new staff member, to make sure that she's not there 24/7. It's like Ray can do like the evening shift, and the agony aunt can do like the morning shift. Works out better for
She could
everyone.
she could do the actual work, and he'll be like the punchline. Sucks to be you, you know.
I've got little other bits and pieces on my list of things. There was a Taylor Swift reference as well. Why not? Just halfway through, Ariel Winter's doing a little bit of a sing song. It's like, okay, the kids can sing now. Why not? It's like we just have this one side bit of the kid going, "I love Taylor Swift." And then Hunky Boy, who she's got the hots for, comes on and goes, "Oh, so you listen to Taylor Swift then?" Why? What's the point of this subplot?
He's a Swiftie. That's the plot.
I get the kids have characters, but I'm sorry. It's like sometimes I don't like it when it sounds really harsh. I don't like it in films when the kids are too fucking smart for their own good.
It
Like
did
the
kind of turn
Goonies.
into Spy Kids at the end. I'm not going to lie.
Posh kid Simon just going, "Oh, by the way, I have the GPS phone tracker program on my laptop. We can find Ray, no problems." It's like, where did you get this? Other than your parents, but where did you get
This
it?
And
this
why
wasn't
now?
earned. This wasn't even earned. This is the thing. This wasn't earned at all. Like, apart from him showing him a few dinosaurs, what did Triple H actually do?
It just looked tough. Look at this dinosaur. It's a T-Rex.
See what I mean about this trying to be kindergarten cop, right? It's because we had the bit where everyone was just misbehaving in the bus. Like, instantly. It was like, just for no reason, they just started being absolute arseholes. And then he just went from ha 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 to "I'm gonna murder all of you and your parents." It's like, wow. Wow, what brought this on? And it wasn't like a snapping point. There was no snapping point. Like, when Arnold Schwarzenegger eventually screamed out his rage and stopped all the kids on their tracks, that was earned in the movie. He had to put up with a lot of shit before he put his foot down. Like, the bus was barely moving by this point. And he's like, "I will end every one of you. I've got a certain set of skills." You know, it's just,
You know what? I'm gonna add a bit of disappointment. I'm disappointed he didn't get a sledgehammer. I'm disappointed he didn't take someone out with a sledgehammer because that was Triple H's go-to weapon at the time.
the sledgehammer was his fist. Did you not see the impression it made in the wall?
Left a hole in the wall.
I made a hole in the wall. See, us doing Triple H impersonations makes the character more engaging.
I hated this film. I don't know if I can stress this enough. I hated this film.
I didn't mind it. Why am I the only one who was like, am I weird?
Explain why you like it. Explain why you like it.
Go for it.
Okay, it wasn't the best movie, it wasn't the worst movie, but the way, because obviously we had a chat in regards to you both watched it before I did, I was filled with dread. Watching this thinking, I've just seen Macross Plus in the cinema. I'm feeling happy. You had the reverse, Ian. You were very lucky. Where I got home, my parents were out for the evening. I got myself a takeaway, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna sit down, relax, watch this, and feel like, you know what? Just get it over with. By the end of it, I was like, okay, it's not that bad, but yeah, obviously, maybe I was tired. I don't know. Maybe I just switched my brain off too much, but it was just. Yeah, there was plot in it that was just like very weird and strange, and it could not make up its mind, but also, yeah, it was okay. I mean, I'm not going to watch it again, but
I literally was going to ask you, that was the true litmus test. Is this a film you'd ever go back to?
no. That copy's going back to where it came from, and if I can find the DVD, I'll probably get a third of what I got from it, so £1 for both.
eBay, here we go.
Yep.
I mean, it's. I can see Trips was trying, but the things of this it just didn't work overall. I mean, it's like, yeah, it doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be a family comedy? Does it want to be a comedy like Kindergarten Cop? Does it want to have touching moments of like families kind of coming together after harsh adversities. You look at the trailer for this film. The film trailer plays it like it's a serious family drama before it all kicks off into gear. It's just, I hate to say it, this was painful, and even for a second watch, it was painful. I think I survived the first one just going, it's a film. It's like indifferent shrug, but it's like rewatched it and just remembering, oh yeah, this is a thing that happened. This is a thing that's happened. Oh, this is another thing that sort of happened. It's like the fighting against the other bad guys towards the end is done like in slow, choppy, slow motion. That Triple H just goes punch and they're down. There's a guy who does a whole little spinny thing with a stick and then just goes, nope. We don't have the budget for the most epic fight scene between Triple H and this clearly trained martial artist because we don't have the budget, but if we did, it would blow everyone's minds. But not today.
Do you know what? Actually, saying that, probably if I was made to watch it a second time, I probably would have the feelings of both of you.
Remorse? Remorse?
Sorry, I didn't mean to make
it was the way you just went, well, if I was to be made to watch this for a second time.
What podcast would you be doing after that, Harriet? Because it won't be this one.
It won't be this
No, I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying, as a goal of something like just like make her watch it again, then you feel the pain as what the other two have felt. Maybe that's it. I don't know, sort of thing. Because obviously,
Matty only watched it
was
once.
genuine pain. Oh, okay then.
So we won't do a star rate. We won't do a star rating for this because these episodes we don't do star ratings. I would say if you're morbidly curious, watch it, but I am not in any way, shape, or form recommending this film on the show. Harriet, I guess you were saying yes to that one.
I was saying, I mean, for me personally, watch it once, I suppose. And just, if you want to, you don't have to go out your way to do it, but I suppose if you're intrigued in regards to Triple H's acting career, that could be one to go to. I haven't seen any of I've seen Blade, obviously, Blade 3, but I haven't seen any of the other movies he's been in or TV roles, so I can't. Oh no, sorry, Scooby-Doo. Sorry, my apologies. I can't really compare. So unless you are intrigued, watch it. If not, I don't know. Just watch something else instead. Watch Jackpot. Jackpot's good.
Why not watch another film of a wrestler that isn't this? There you go. That's
very much.
You like wrestlers in your movie, not this. Watch Bill Goldberg in Universal Soldier of the Return. That's somewhat better, I suppose. I mean, it's not, but Matty's got a sad face. Nanny, your final thoughts on this?
No. Just no. Don't. I beg all of you, even if there's a curiosity for you to ever watch this film, my next question would be why? Just no. If you value your sanity, no. Just no. No.
No.
Hang on, still thinking about it.
All right.
No.
Is that your final thought? Is that the final answer?
No. Wait. Something else is coming through. Oh, wait, that was just constipation. No.
Good.
No.
Good. Would you like to guess how this did on Rotten Tomatoes? This is so basically I have a score here that's based on 17 reviews on the critics side. Who would like to make a guess? Harriet, you go first.
Percentage-wise, Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. 10%?
So 10%
if it's only 17 reviews and it's not good, so yeah.
It's a little too harsh. I know I just said to everyone no. I would say maybe 29%.
You're going 29%?
Just like it's near or no? Like no. No.
So you're sticking with 29%?
I will say it will be we just don't know. So we'll just go low without going too low because there's got to be worse films out there, but also no.
based on 17 reviews by critics, the Rotten Tomato score was rotten at 29%.
Whoa!
Wow.
Maddie, you're a soothsayer.
I'm out, everybody. Bye.
While Matty's going born free, reigning free, whatever he's doing now, on the audience meter on Rotten Tomatoes, 43%. Metacritic got 33 out of 100. That's based on 11 reviews. And I do have some worded reviews. So we got Eric Cron of IndieWire. He graded the film a C-, saying that it had flat direction, a mediocre script, and said, as a vehicle for WWE champ Paul Triple H Levesque, it's haplessly stuck on cruise control. Nick Shager of Slut Magazine gave it a half a star out of 4, criticizing the script, direction, and characters, saying that this Hulk with a heart of a gold fable embraces banalities with a vigor matched only by its lack of imagination. I think that's pretty damn on the button for that one. A lot of tropes. It doesn't feel good.
They are on the money there. There was not an original thing about this film at all. There's movies that continue this trend as well. Most of them are on straight to DVD nonsense. But yeah, that you could not convince me that there's anything that this movie would bring to the table at all that hasn't already been tried. That's the ultimate thing I could say about this.
Any final thoughts, Harriet?
We've been on the journey, and it wasn't on a school bus.
I've been to Oakwood Park on a school bus once. I don't think we robbed any banks or anything, though.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyway, that is all we got time for here on BunkaMania Goes to the Movies. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, if you're watching on YouTube, give this video a like. If you want to have more episodes like this delivered fresh to your feed, hit the subscribe button. It's completely free to do so. We will be back soon for another movie podcast. We'll probably look at a more recent and upcoming film release. We tend to do these movie wrestling ones once a month, so we'll be doing another one around Halloween time. The film of choice is going to be See No Evil with Kane. I'm pretty certain Harriet's going to join me for the ride. Matty, I'm going to leave alone. Let him be free. Let him be free until it's time for the money plane in a couple of months' time. Manny, where are you going? Manny, where are you going? Manny, were you trying to escape?
I was trying to say earlier, wrestlers never retire. You're not retiring.
This goes out on YouTube, right?
Yes.
This goes out on YouTube. Or if you go through your podcast feeds and stuff. If we have more than 3 people comment and say they want me to review that, then I will. And I don't want bots. I know Tony Khan talks about the bots. If I see WWE film fans 1, 2, and 3 all post they want Matty to do this, I will disregard that. If I see 3 comments from people saying they want me to be in that review, then I will. But other than that, no, hell no.
That just excludes both of us. So yeah,
yes.
Because that would have been 2.
We're not that mean. We won't do that. But yes, if you want to see Matty review Money Plane, which I think we'll do in November after October, then please comment in the video below. Matty,
don't make me play the voice note again.
I'm not going to be.
I mean, why should I be concerned? It's more Harriet who's on the voice note than me. But anyway. Anyway, that is all we got time for, and we all have our own little strands of content across the wonderful world of Twitch and YouTube. Harriet, where can people find and engage with your content?
You can find me on Twitch under the name Harriett_Mangaga. I'm currently streaming watch-alongs at the moment, back to gaming in a couple of weeks, and in a couple of weeks we'll probably try and do a birthday stream because big milestone for me coming up, so might as well do something to celebrate it. And on YouTube at the moment, recent Starbomb reaction has been uploaded. I have another reaction coming up next week of a friend of mine who also does music videos, so that'll be coming up next week. And then prior to that, whatever comes up wrestling or anything reaction-wise, I will upload, and that's Manga Girl 232 on YouTube. And you can find what I post on Twitter, X, at Manga Girl 232. That's where I usually post most of my stuff.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Matty.
You can find me on X under Matty Boo Tweets. You can find me on Threads and Instagram under Matty Boo Super. You can find me on Twitch under Matty Boo Tweets. But you will mostly find me crafting a voodoo doll of one Harriett Green, and I will be placing it on top of a large stack. No, hear me out. A large stack of the best of WWE films. She will review every single one. She can't help it. She'll be compelled to do so because the whole time her voodoo doll will be cursing her, sat atop a loft. A giant, it'll be proper stacked, Harriet, a proper stack of straight-to-DVD WWE films. You're welcome, Harriet. You're welcome.
Probably not the first to make a voodoo doll of me. That's probably why I have it. I'm jesting. But if you could just readjust my back, that would be great. Thank you.
And if you are a person who has crafted a Harriett Green voodoo doll, please send it to me, and I will instead place it on a stack of WWE films. She will be reviewing every single Marine film, including the one with Becky Lynch and Shawn Michaels. It will happen because she'll be compelled to do so. There may not even just be two other people here. It will just be Harriet. It will just be Harriet.
Think Ian's going to give me full throttle of this channel here? In no way.
I mean, I have watched Marine 1. No, I'm thinking 12 Rounds 3 is the one with Dean Ambrose. I've watched Marine 1 and I've watched Marine 6. Those are the only two that I've watched. I've watched the Becky Lynch one. It's a trip. It's a real trip.
I'd watch it for fun. I'm not going to lie. I'd watch it just for lols.
Basically, Shawn Michaels is aging CIA agent going, Miz, I can't do a Shawn Michael impersonation, but he's just going in old man voice. Miz, I used to train you in the ways of being a Marine. We're buddies. Let us take on this evil Irish lady. All right. Why not? In a warehouse that's empty. Why not? I mean, what can go wrong? Lots of things. But anyway.
You're welcome, Harriet.
Yeah, I'm going to stop
I'm
that.
going to find you, Ian.
You can find me on Twitch at the Dekker Dane, all one word. I stream every Monday evening at 8 p.m. We do watch-alongs. At the moment, we're watching Celebrity Mole in Hawaii. Ooh, glamorous. So you can join us to find out who the treacherous mole is. And then as we go into October, there'll be a little bit of spookiness going on, a little bit of Ghost Dimensions. Then the Spooky Dane is back, so you can make me play spooky video games. Hint, I really do not like scary games, so that's going to be fun. And then we will carry on with some classic animations, including Extreme Dinosaurs and Dog City. In terms of BunkaMania content, we also do a wrestling podcast, BunkaMania Wrestling, where we talk all things in AEW and WWE. Our next show is very likely going to be WWE Bad Blood, and that will be on the weekend of the 5th of October. And again, you can get that straight to your inbox on YouTube by clicking subscribe today. But until then, that has been BunkaMania Goes to the Movies. We've had a ride with the Chaperone, and now we're all going to get off the bus before we make any more bad decisions. So I have been the Dekker Dane. I've been joined by Harriet. I've been joined by Matty Boo. And until next time, we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.